Hey friends, Justin here. The sleep system in this tent is the best ultralight sleep system out there. I'm gonna be hiking the 1100 kilometer Great Divide Trail this summer, and I tested out a ton of sleeping pads, quilts, and pillows and accessories in order to find the best sleep system because I'm gonna be doing that trail over 36 days and I wanna be comfortable. I'm just packing up in order to hike for the day, so I'll take the tent down and then we'll lay out the sleep system so you guys can get a really good look at it. As the base of the operation, I'm using the Therm X-Lite sleeping pad. Nothing beats the Therm reflective technology from a weight to warmth ratio. This thing only weighs 430 grams in the regular wide version, which is the one I have here, and has an R value of 4.2, which keeps me toasty warm in the Canadian Rockies. The pad isn't the most comfortable out there, especially for side sleepers. I sleep on my side, and I find the horizontal baffles that the X-Lite has just isn't as comfortable, and sometimes I find my arm falling asleep, but I've been using it a lot and I kind of found the sweet spot for inflation in order to be as comfortable as possible, and I'm willing to sacrifice a tiny bit of comfort in order to not carry as much weight on my back and to make sure that I'm warm when the temperatures get really cold on trail. As a little hack, something that I did because it saves a little bit of time once I get to camp is I used a permanent marker to mark which baffle I should put my pad straps on. So I use pad straps on the sleeping pad in order to keep my quilt in place and prevent drafts. And it's really quick to just pull the pad straps on and then put them right at the marker and not have to fiddle around with them later. I also have another hack for the pad straps, but we'll get into that once we talk about the quilt. Next thing I want to talk about is the Trekology 2.0 pillow here. This is my go-to pillow for ultralight trips. It strikes the perfect balance of weight and comfort. My favorite features about this pillow are the pad strap, which wraps around your sleeping pad and makes it so you don't have to chase your pillow around the tent throughout the night. And then the baffling. This pillow is super supportive and just really comfortable. Sometimes inflatable pillows, it can feel like you're sleeping on a balloon, but that's not the case with the Trekology 2.0. I've done a full review of the Trekology pillow as well as a bunch of the other items here, and I'll post links in the video description if you want to get into the nitty-gritty about this gear. Next up, we have this beautiful quilt from Enlightened Equipment. This is the Enigma down quilt. So what's different with the Enigma versus some of their other quilts is that it has a fully enclosed foot box. So some other quilts have a zipper at the bottom here. This one is just fully enclosed, just like a sleeping bag. And I like that better because I find with the zippered ones, I'm never using the zipper anyways, and it just adds a little bit more weight and finnick factor. I've used the Enlightened Equipment Enigma a whole bunch, but for the Great Divide Trail, I got a new one that's as lightweight as you can get. I don't think there's a more ultralight quilt on the market. This one's made with a 950 power fill down and then a 7 denier shell fabric, so it comes in at very low weight. Mine's the 20 Fahrenheit or -6 temperature rating one, so that'll be perfect for the Great Divide Trail when the temperatures get really low. And it's the regular length and regular width, which is great for me at 5'10", and the regular width is just wide enough in order to be comfortable, but also keeps a lot of the heat in. And I promised you another hack, and that has to do with the pad straps for the quilt. So I like to label the left side of my pad strap so that I know how to put it onto the sleeping pad. Sometimes I'll put it on backwards, and that can be super annoying, and it just adds time when you're trying to set up camp, and after a long day, that's the last thing you want. The next item is one of the most versatile items in my pack. I use it for a whole bunch of different systems, and it is part of my sleep system, and that's the Gossamer Gear Thin Light 1/8 thick foam mat. So this is very thin foam mat, and it's 20 inches wide by 40 inches long, so it's not a full length. But what I like to do with this is, over the course of the day, I'll fold it up and I'll use it as a sit pad, so it's a nice ultralight sit pad. And then what I can also do is I can shove it underneath my pillow if I want to add a little bit of height to my pillow. Sometimes I will get a kink in my neck if my pillow feels a little bit too low. If I get too cold, I can fully unfold it and then stick it under or on top of my sleeping pad, and it'll add about 0.5 R value to my sleep system, which is not a ton of warmth, but it is a little bit of warmth if it is a colder night. And then the final thing that I use this for is I'll have it folded up, and depending on what the scenario is, I'll fold it up more or less. And that's if my sleeping pad is on a little bit of an angle. For instance, last night, my sleeping pad was tilted a little bit towards the lake behind me here. So I just had it folded this much, and then I just stuck it underneath the right side of the sleeping pad, and it propped me up a little bit so I was sleeping flat. It doesn't take a lot, and it's almost impossible to find perfectly flat spots all the time, especially when you're random camping. So having that ability is a really nice little hack for this Thin Light sleeping pad. If If you guys are interested in all the clothing that I bring, my hygiene systems, all the other aspects of the Great Divide Trail, then go check out the playlist I'll post right up in the corner there, where it has all those videos and more.